Alright, let's do this. It is 62 degrees. And just to give you an idea, I mean, I think it was only 66 yesterday, but it is like the temperature is just dropping. And it is supposed to be a brutal winter this year, which is very different than what it's been. I am leaving actually later than I normally do, and the sun isn't even up yet. You can't even tell that this is a clear blue sky. Because yesterday when I left, it was so overcast that it still looked like it was dark out. I mean, we haven't even adjusted for daylight. So once we adjust for daylight, it's still daylight savings? Yeah, I guess it's still daylight saving. Once daylight savings happens, it's literally gonna be like dark out. And I think I'm coming down with a cold. I was told I needed to do. I needed to have at least one day off. I'm going to probably end up taking 2. I don't know if they're going to be consecutive or, I might do the 2 T's. Do Tuesday, Thursday. The Thursday definitely seems to be the day to take off. It is basically my mental health day. Funny because there's the sun, which is kind of funny because I do the streaming to improve my mental health. It's just like I do these morning commute videos to make going to work bearable. Does work. I don't think that I could take a morning commute day off when I'm not going to work. So it is what it is. To sell my house and move out of state. Someplace cheaper. I mean, a lot cheaper. have a car guy. And yeah, I have to admit, I'm really kind of like lost without him. It's not the only thing that's going on. One of the big things that I'm going through right now is the state I live in is so freaking expensive, and this job I'm still not revealing. I think I have revealed it, but you're gonna have to dig for that. With this job that I hate is doesn't pay me enough. And I'm not talking like going, oh yeah, it doesn't pay me enough so that I'm, doing really well. It doesn't pay me enough so that I can function, so I can survive. I'm not making enough money to live off of. I've basically been faking it for years, and it's worn on me. It's like how when I was doing the subathon, and just so you know, because of the subathons that I've done before, because of the long streams, is the reason why I need a mental health day. Is the reason why I have to take a day off. One, to prevent me from doing crazy shit like that. So I can recharge my batteries, because I have to admit, I'm kind of running on empty here. I can't play Batman, which is something that I was thinking was going to be like a thing one day a week, would be me playing Batman. It's just not working on my computer. My computer just runs so freaking hot when Batman's playing. It is completely different. Like, somebody was actually telling me, like, didn't you do this before? Didn't you have Batman up and running? And I'm like going, that was a different computer. That was the 7-year-old computer, not the 10-year-old computer. My plan is, is to get a new computer, get get like OBS and everything like that installed on it, and still use the computer that I'm using, still use the 10-year-old computer, not just as a backup, not just as put it on the shelf and let it basically collect dust until something happens to this computer. It will be my information computer. I will still run it. And I can put chat up on it. Big bold chat, and check the numbers and everything like that, because the plan is so that I did a test yesterday of me reading, and it went pretty piss poor. But I think I'm going to read movie scripts. I think I want to do that as a thing. I don't know if I want to, it wasn't the first draft. That's the good news about it is the novel that I was reading that I wrote, this wasn't the first draft. It was like draft number 3. The one that is connected to my lore, the draft that's connected to my lore is that draft is gone. I don't know where that is. I actually went looking for it yesterday. And it was probably not the brightest thing to do in the middle of a stream, but that's what I did. I have all the old files moved over, and the funny thing about it is I wrapped up all the documents that were on the computer I'm currently using and put them in a folder called old stuff, and then I took all the new stuff, all the stuff from the new computer, and put that on the computer and marked it as new stuff. So the difference is that they're exactly identical. And I saw the impression for what I thought was the script, and it was only 1K big. And I was like, oh. And I tried to open it. It didn't open. An almost 300-page novel is not going to be complicated. 59 megabytes I can see, but not 1K. So I opened up the older one. I didn't know whether it was the first draft or a later draft. It's dated, later. Or, it's a younger version, so I figured it might be, but it could could it just be because it got copied over? And right when I started reading, I was like, oh, okay. There's a lot in the first 5 pages. There's a lot happening. Og is darn near killed by a bomb, and I spent a lot of time trying to describe that and the feelings of that and everything Og was going through. And when I read it, I have to listen to it back. I might have actually put more inflections in it than I feel like I did, but I feel like I wrote like this, and we are going to. I am a robot. I have no emotions. Yeah, and I just felt like I just reading words as opposed to telling a story. And it would be, and the reason I bring all this up is because it would be the reason that I don't read scripts. In fact, I might bullet point Og and actually tell it as a story. Now I know a lot of people like this is the funny thing is because I don't know what we would call it. I went to college to try to define my storytelling, and instead all they wanted to do was put me in a box as a novelist. All they wanted to do was have me fall in line and do the things that I'm supposed to be doing as far as a college student was supposed to be, and then later to become an academic. It is one of the reasons why I didn't get my doctorate. It is one of the reasons why I did not defend my dissertation. There was other factors involved and things like that in it, but there was definitely a reason that I basically gave all that up. I don't feel bad that I did. I would have had a completely different life. I definitely think that I probably would have revisited getting my doctorate, becoming a professor, if my son was born. Especially because the job that I had at the time, which paid very well, but it especially if that job that I had at the time, I got outsourced. Like I did. And instead of saying, let me do my dreams, I would have said, I have these credentials. I will, teach English at a college somewhere while teaching my class and trying to sell my class to other schools and hopefully get tenure somewhere. That was the goal. My doctorate was on the psychological study of, or the psychological impact of banning books. It went with why we banned the books, what social constraints, or social constructs that we have that would force us to ban these books. So it's not just oh, there's material in here that is unsuitable, and that's why we're banning it. Banning books has a whole history, and most of it's subjective. And that was what I was going to teach. My main focus in literature was the modern novel. Some called it post-Victorian, but it really was the modern novel. We are definitely in the postmodern era, and I do try to keep up with the writers of today, but it has become darn near impossible, and most of the things that I've read really are not worth anything. But that's my opinion. I don't like George Martin. I'm not a big Tom Clancy person. So that's really where I'm at. So I know people adore them. Most of the things are well written. Martin's not so well written, but that was a chore to get through his books. The 100-Year War, or War of the Roses, or whatever you want to call it, the actual history of it, that Martin took his cues for Game of Thrones. That actual history, the Wall of Camelliard, and all this other stuff, that's all taken right out of the freaking 100-Year War. Hell, he didn't even really change the names all that much. But yeah, so you have that going on. And like I said, the real story is so much more interesting. There's so many moving pieces, all moving at once. Communications is a huge problem, and Martin decides to, basically solve or resolve that problem with having crows flying everywhere. And I'm not saying that there weren't like messages being passed by pigeon and things like that, but man, not on that scale. I mean, you could move an army back then and nobody would be the wiser. And you had to, this is why chess existed. You had to be several moves ahead of your opponent. And you could have swaths of your army that never even make it to the battlefield just because of your placement. Like, these are the things that happen. You could lose the war because you positioned poorly. And you had to plan everything out in advance. Laying siege on a castle wasn't like, oh, we're gonna lay siege on this one day and everything's going to be fine. I digress into the whole freaking thing. That's where Martin freaking pisses me off. His writing upsets me. It doesn't make sense. I get pulled out of my suspension of disbelief all the time where his writing is concerned, because he wants something to happen, or he meant to go here, but really the story took him in a different direction. And instead of allowing his story to go in that direction, he reins it back in a very awkward way. And I guess most people forgive it. I'm not one of those people. I'm definitely one of those people, like, complain about Star Wars real quick. I'm definitely one of those people, like, if you use Star Wars, use Star Wars. If you want to do your own fucking movie and tell your own fucking story, don't use Star Wars. Don't. I mean, it's that simple. Rian Johnson wanted to make his own freaking movie. Why are you using Star Wars at all? You don't even need it. You trashed the whole freaking... You trashed everything. For what? And then you call me a man baby? So, it's not a Star Wars movie, first off. And as a regular science fiction movie, it's very poorly written and very hard to follow. It relies on those things that you had for it being a Star Wars movie. But because you blew them away, because they don't exist anymore, I can't follow your freaking movie. So it fails on both accounts. And I don't care what people say, and there are people who love that movie, who love The Last Jedi, who love The Rise of Skywalker, or even The Force Awakens, who love all the sequels. There are people who love them, who think that they're great. It's their introduction to Star Wars, so they don't know any other. They don't know any other Star Wars. And that I can understand. But man, is that hard to follow without Star Wars. Man, nothing makes sense. You can't change the rules and expect that the rules that you changed to be the same. Everybody fighting with a lightsaber. Like, that drives me crazy. Like Rey, who's never had training, being automatically proficient. It's insane to me. Thought I was in the wrong spot yesterday, or like I was an hour early because nobody was here. And I was late, which is probably what messed me up even more. I'm just on a tangent. I don't know what I'm going to do with my day off. I'm going to probably watch some people and, write some. Try to figure out what I'm going to be doing. I think Friday is a collab, or is Saturday a collab. And I have next week pretty much open still. I will probably pick a second day of Zoom. And well, let's just go in. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're having a great day and a great time doing it. As always, if you don't mind, write cool beans in the comments below, or anything you want. It would be great. I'd appreciate that. That would make my day. That's what I want more than anything else. I only want to hit 100 subscribers so that I can stop doing this whole thing. I'm never going to never say never, but I don't want to ever hinge my next celebration on meeting a goal, because this was supposed to I'm I don't think people realize how silly this is that I'm holding to this, but um, it is it is pretty much the whole thing. I mean, the whole kit caboodle is based on here on YouTube, and something as simple as reaching 100 subscribers. It that that milestone. That's the thing. That milestone, in the grand scheme of things, means nothing. I set it as a personal goal. It was on the list of personal goals that they told me when I first started up this channel, but when I first became a streamer and was streaming, they said set personal goals and don't go unrealistic. Set realistic personal goals, and this was one of the suggestions was one of the suggestions was 100 followers in 100 days. And that's the reason why I'm still sticking to it. 2 years is going to happen real quick. I set the 100 followers in 100 days right before my birthday when I was streaming. And I started streaming 11 days before my birthday. And I wasn't streaming all the time. I wasn't doing anything too crazy. And it was unforeseeable for me to, 1, reach 100 videos, 2, reach the 100 days, and 3, not have 100 subscribers, not even be close. But I was going up, and here I am saying I wasn't close. I had hit 40 something subscribers by then. I mean, I know I've said this like a million times. I had hit 40 something subscribers by then. And then I completely flatlined. For almost an entire year. And not only did I flatline, not only was I not going up, because I never broke 50. But for an entire year, until the next year, when I was actually thinking about quitting, I said I still have this milestone. I'm still not going to celebrate until this milestone is reached. And for my birthday, I did not celebrate my birthday. Instead, I did a subathon to get me to 100 subscribers. I had 152 comments. 152 comments on my birthday stream. My birthday subathon stream. 152 comments. All bots. 100% bot-a-roonies. And as soon as I started just banning and blocking all them as I was going down, as soon as that happened, I was down to 30 subscribers. So not only did I flatline, but I flatlined with basically a third of my subscribers being just bots. And even if there were like legitimate people in there, even if there were legitimate people in there that left, I wouldn't be able to tell. Like, what's the difference? The saddest thing about my birthday this year is that nobody wished me a happy birthday. That's the saddest thing. I mean, I didn't do the balloon thing. I did do the I'm doing a sleep-a-thon. It ran for 36 hours. I was out doing my birthday, my own birthday, without streaming because I was going to put this all behind me. And when I came back and I saw what it was, I literally, I mean, I was checking it on my phone, but when all said and done, and I saw that, I was just like, I gotta go. This is awful. This is not for me. And if it wasn't for two people, just two. You're basically saying take as long as you need, take a break. It seems like you need a break because I'm just holding on too tight. But two people are the reason that I'm still here. I evaluated it. I can't even see. I evaluated where I was at and how things were going, and it turned out that I got caught up in the Twitch mess. I was neglecting here. I was neglecting YouTube, and it is, and then that neglect, it showed. I mean, when you think about it, you know, by the time I looked at it, it was a year and a half after looking at all this stuff, of doing this. I was down to, I was hemorrhaging subscribers like crazy. And as soon as I turned it around, as soon as I decided to keep going, I did a couple more subathons. Every now and again I do another subathon. But I am where I'm at. It doesn't make any sense. I would love to celebrate the fact that I have 4,000 followers on Twitter. That's a huge milestone. I would love to do a queue for the 4,000 follower, who I don't know who it is. And the followers have been fluctuating so much. But I did at the time. I knew exactly who was my 4,000th follower at the time when I reached it, and I could have done that. And I was like, I'm not celebrating it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, hitting 100 followers on Twitch. Having 10 subscribers on Twitch. Those are milestones that I don't celebrate. Birthdays, holidays, those things. Like this holiday, I have to freaking work. Labor Day, I'm working on Labor Day. Unbelievable. So yeah, that's the reason why I do this. And it's not a downer. It's good news. This is happy. This is happy stuff. All right. And as always, cool beans. All right. You guys take care. All right. Bye.